All right. We are a podcast called Do You Still Like Us? And what do we do on this podcast? Well, AJ, my friend over here. Hello, AJ.
Hi,
Uh,
that's me.
myself, we talk about, well, the
Damian.
brief is that we talk about,
Damian.
hmm?
You didn't say your name. You said my name, but your name is Damian.
My name is Damian.
It is. I
This is the
interrupted. You
worst
were like,
intro of all
let's do
time.
this nice thing. It's not the worst intro of all time. It's our new intro. It's good.
But anyway, I should have written something down. But what we do, or the brief is that two people who are on the spectrum talk about life on the spectrum, right? But then we just kind of just end up talking about whatever.
Well, yeah, this is true because immediately upon beginning this recording, well, immediately right before beginning the recording, I suppose, I wanted to talk about the football. And that's not really anything to do with being on the spectrum, except for how sports are a special interest.
It does all, yeah. We can always just get away with it's a special interest.
It's a special interest, so we're allowed to talk about it. Oh, we're zoomed in. Yay.
Do we want it like that, or do we want to go back to that?
I do like the bisexual flag very much.
Yeah, cool.
Well, it's accusing you of a sexuality you don't identify with and assigning me mine, and I like that.
I feel like everyone can see my setup in my glasses, but I can't do anything about it. Because if I take them off, I literally cannot see you.
Where are your not yellow glasses?
Well, I wanted to wear my yellow glasses because, it's an autism podcast or a spectrum podcast, sorry. So
well, for anyone as well who's... Sorry.
No, I just wanted to set an example. Great. Like, you can wear these wherever you want. Like, don't let people tease you about it.
Oh, hell yeah. What I was going to say is to anyone who is new to the Do You Still Like Us podcast, you may have missed a really fantastic episode. It's called Robert Downey Jr. Glasses, in which Damian talks about getting these glasses. And it took several months for them to arrive, but they have been really good for you.
I'm sure he probably got the Ray-Ban ones that are like $1,200.
Yeah, but I mean, yours are just as good.
I'm noticing a lot of celebrities wearing glasses like these. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Downey Jr. and Bono have been wearing them for decades. But like the Supergirl film came out a couple of weeks ago and Momoa's been everywhere and he's been wearing red versions of these everywhere.
He wore them in for that other movie he did as well. Minecraft movie.
Yeah, right?
Did you see with Jack Black?
I feel like I've seen Jack Black wearing them too. Talking of the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It would make a lot of sense that most artistic people are on the spectrum. I mean, we kind of talked about this stuff before. But anyway, let's talk about the football because it's World Cup season. Feeling hot,
World Cup.
This time that's a soccer song. Yeah. Is that a soccer song?
Yeah. Yeah, and then Waka Waka is absolutely also a soccer song.
Yeah, 3 lines on a shirt, all that bullshit.
Oh, don't. So I have been watching World Cup football for as long as I can remember, and I have been backing Australia to a point, and then once they get kicked out, I will usually switch and back England. Now, I am not technically from England. My family is from Scotland. I could, squint and look at some other... sorry, Damian, you can't do that. My ADHD brain then gets distracted and wants to wave at the little thing.
It's just so normally saying welcome to the guys.
Normally, I'll be quite offensive to my Scottish ancestors and start backing England. Most famously, in 2018 was my real bad year for backing England because I got really into it, like hardcore.
Mel
as
Gibson
an adult
didn't die, so you could barrack for England.
I haven't seen it.
It doesn't matter. It's all made up. Most of it's made up.
All right. Well then,
so don't worry.
Well then, it's fine that I'm backing England. And today was
not the history of Scotland, just that film.
The history of Scotland, all made up.
All made up. Huge statement.
You heard it here. You heard it here first. We did absolutely very little research into it, but all of it's fake.
Immediately became a right-wing supremacist podcast by just disparaging histories of Indigenous people. Nah, there's no Scottish history. It doesn't exist.
No Scottish history. No, but I love being Scottish. I have the Scottish flag tattooed on me. I've travelled the most extensively in Scotland. So, you know, I know it's offensive for me to then support the English. I'm aware. I know. But I do. I get behind them. And today was the first time that was really tested because I am so endeared by this Norway team.
Yeah.
I have adored them so much. And so I was sat very early this morning. Obviously, game was at 7 a.m. for us. And I was backing Norway to win. And I found myself shockingly disappointed when they didn't. And so I plan to be excited for England again tomorrow, but not today. Today I'm just in my feelings about Norway.
I think I'm on Team Spain because they, as a nation, are the most left, the most socialist. So
All right.
is it kind of like out of the 14, because Argentina is probably going to beat Switzerland, right? Like that's no offense to any Swiss viewers we may have. I'm sorry, but you've done well to get it. You did better than Australia, put it that way. So,
well, you cut out there for a second.
Did I really?
It did just for 1 second. Uh-oh. Here we go. So in the opposite of special interests, hyper focuses, Damian's microphone has been a hyper focus of the past couple of weeks.
Months.
Months. But I feel like, you know, you've kept it really chill on the potty.
Yeah, look, this one is fine. This one is probably fine because it's
a really beautiful microphone.
And yeah, so it should be. There shouldn't be any problems. What happens?
That or I'm bringing just quickly, the back to your house.
For anyone who does YouTubing stuff or just podcasting stuff in general, and I've been doing this for 10 years and only learned this in the last 4 weeks. You can record. You can record the best level. You can record the best audio. You can record the best video. But if you upload it to a platform like YouTube, they're going to compress the fuck out of it because they want your file sizes to be tiny and they want everything leveled out. So you might have great audio on your video and you listen to, and this is what's been happening to me, where I'm going crazy in here. We talked about on the last episode where I was turning into the Brian Wilson of podcasting, just in this room constantly being like, and now I'm listening, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, and I'm over here, and now I'm here, and now I'm here. And it happened with my latest wrestling thing where I put it on YouTube and it was perfect, and I tested the LUFS level and noise normalization, all that kind of stuff. But YouTube's going to YouTube, and it was slightly quieter. Like everything was fine, but it was slightly quieter than all the other videos I'd put up. So the result was, well, you either have a quieter video and the sound's perfect, or you have a loud video and everything peaks to fuck. That's the two options you get on YouTube.
How fantastic. What I really like my way of going about it, which is I turned my computer on. I thought we were recording at 10 today, not 10:30. So I turned my computer on at 9:45. And it's the first time it's been turned on since the last time we recorded. And then I spent, 20 minutes trying to connect my Bluetooth headphones because I got new Bluetooth headphones. They didn't want to connect. But ultimately, I just kind of like rock up and vibe, which I think really does highlight the difference between like not nice coffee.
No, I just made a huge sound. Like I hit the. It's such a good microphone that no matter where I put this coffee cup down, I can hear it reverberating through my headphones like a bomb's gone off in the Grand Canyon.
We're not sponsored by the company that make those cups, and I would prefer not to give them free media. So it's a nice cup, but we don't show the branding.
It like this. Make sure that there's no extra sound. Anyway, so football, Norway, we're upset.
Norway, we're upset today, but it's okay.
Would it be better for football fans if England just won? Just let them win one so we don't have to hear about it coming home and 60 years of hurt and, oh, God, it's been going on.
Well, that's it, right? If they win this year, it'll be the same because it was 1966 when they won 1966. I don't know what 19 is. It's an Australianism.
It's in the previous decade.
Yeah, I know, but I said 19, not 19.
A previous decade, I meant century.
Yeah. Welcome back to Do You Still Like Us podcast. We took a small recording break. We didn't get any smarter.
No, worse, if
But it would
anything.
be definitely worse. I do think it would be like spiritually great for the game if England were to win this year because of that kind of waiting period between 1966 and now, and it being like so perfectly on the, was that 70-year mark, 60-year mark? 60. I know maths. So I think that would be, good for the sake of the game. Do I think that they necessarily deserve the win? No, I don't. I think Norway played much better than them today. They just had a couple of really good moments. Norway had a disallowed goal that I don't think should have been disallowed.
Did they really? I only watched the first half. I
Yeah,
didn't watch the second half.
I watched the second half and all of extra time. And then immediately after the game ended, I jumped online and discovered that, oh, look at them. I looked at Twitter. I'm not calling it by its government name now. Looked at Twitter and I noticed that there was a video going around when England got the breakaway and scored the goal that would ultimately lead to the win. The ball had been kicked by Nylander, the Norwegian goalie, and it had hit the kind of drone wire, like the wire that the drone sits on. And so it had then come straight back down and got to England, and then they scored a goal off it. So did they really deserve that goal? No. Norway had a
No.
much stronger game. England held possession, but Norway had a better game.
So, I promised myself that I'd try not to get too political on our fun podcast today. But I think it's a pretty great example of capitalism ruining something that people love.
Oh, this whole
camera is only there to. Oh, it's been a fucking nightmare.
This World Cup has
absolute
been
nightmare.
As a fan of sports, this World Cup has been a nightmare. We could talk about the USA red card situation. We could talk about the hydration breaks. I mean, it pours out of it. It has been a money-making scheme, and
Iran being forced to be camped in Mexico and travel 6 hours for every game.
Yeah, that was.
They might as well have been camped in Iran and fly. You know what I mean?
Also, and it meant that they couldn't have a fair shot at the game that they were going to play in because they weren't allowed to stay in the US, which is ridiculous. If you're hosting it, then you're hosting it.
Yeah,
so people from the host country are going to be, like, from the countries competing are going to be there. The refereeing's been a joke. We saw that in the Australia game.
Well,
maybe I should create
the Australia soccer is the Australia America game. Like,
that was a joke. Maybe I should create a secondary podcast, much like you talk about wrestling on your other channel. Maybe I should have another channel where I just bitch about football.
Yeah,
get me in my special interests.
And ice hockey. Anyway, you could do football for 6 months of the year and ice hockey the other 6 months of the year.
That's potentially the best idea I've ever had, except the seasons do kind of overlap. So it'd just be me in the morning, and the football was terrible overnight. And then in the evenings, the hockey, yay.
There's a surf movie called Endless Summer, and you could just call your podcast Endless Winter.
Oh, I like that. Also because I hate winter. That's the other thing that it's not for me. Since my gastric sleeve, I am too cold all the time.
Right.
I'm in thermals right now. I'm in my own house. To be fair, I will say the one thing that I do have to do for the audio of this podcast is I can't turn the heater on because it makes too much noise in the background. So it's a bit chilly. The other thing I've done since we recorded last is I went on a little hockey jaunt to Tasmania for 4 days and watched a bunch of hockey, 3 different hockey games in 4 days.
Yeah. What was the deal with that?
It was beautiful. It was a USA, Canada, it's called the Ice Hockey Classic, and it's like a tour they do. So they did Tasmania, there was one game in Melbourne, and then there's another, there were 3 games in in Canberra. And it's all to raise money for a charity called Speak Up, Stay Chatty, which is all about mental health and focusing on that in sports, especially in male sports, because mental health, obviously, very sad story out of the South African football team from the World Cup. One of their players passed away overnight and was suffering with his mental health. So a very important cause, and it felt very good to get to go and really support it. And I got a really lovely birthday gift from my best friend Mon and her wonderful sister Rochelle and her amazing mum Mary while I was down there. Yeah, you hear the shout outs. Get all those shout outs in. And I got to go down onto the ice and meet my favourite player from the Canadian team, Colton Schindel, who also plays for Melbourne Ice. So that was pretty incredible. I also got his signed jersey. It stank. Sorry, Colton, but it was stinky.
So are these American and Canadian players that play in Australia?
Some of them. So there were like, I'll see if I can get my phone to show you. So all of those players there, and one of them is the coach, all the players who were playing for, who have played or do play for Melbourne Ice, who are competing in this tournament. Some of them play in the, not the NHL league in the US, but they do play in the lower down leagues, AHL, FPHL. So they're not, the team that you're sending off to the Olympics, but they're a really fantastic team of players who want to come and travel and bring other ice hockey to Australia, which is huge for us at the moment because it is on the rise massively. Yeah, lots of digging into my special interests.
Yeah.
Which has been
How
great.
do you find traveling with, Spectrum stuff?
I personally am pretty okay with it. I love to travel, and I am very much like I can really lean into my ADHD, go, go, go. I don't like to sit and be restful. I like to just keep going until I'm completely burnt out. And so like a super quick trip like that as well was really well suited to me because it wasn't a lot of stopping. I mean, we got off the plane, drove an hour and a half to Port Arthur, did a 4-hour long day at Port Arthur walking around, came back to the Airbnb, out for the hockey that night. Next morning, we went, what did we do? I can't remember. We watched some football in the morning. We went and did a few things. Saturday, we went to, Salamanca markets. Like, we got lots of stuff done, and it was a really great time.
Yeah, great.
Oh, we went to the Cascade Brewery for lunch. That was really beautiful.
Yeah, that's been there for like 160 years or something, right?
They had a beverage that was like a mulled ginger beer with lemon and brown sugar and a little bit of chili vodka in it. That was the nicest winter warmer I have ever had, maybe.
That does sound good, even for someone who's sober. I'm like, oh, that sounds.
Oh yeah, sorry, James. That was really inconsiderate of me. While I'm just like,
not at all. No. I can still appreciate. I can still appreciate. I loved drinking when I was drinking. You know what I mean?
The thing about that is that you could do it entirely non-alcoholic. Just a little bit of like chili sauce, chili syrup.
Good. Yeah. I wasn't like my drinking was obviously a problem, and there was a lot of depressing moments because of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, my voice is leaving me. But there was also a lot of good, fun times as well.
Yeah.
Sorry. And I liked drinking. Like I liked scotch. I really liked beer. And I was autistic. I didn't know it at the time. But like, I got into beer. So like beer became a special interest, which is not good for an alcoholic.
It's not. Can I ask you an alcohol question? Is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
You can definitely veto it. Were you sober before Furphy became a beer that everybody loves?
No, I was still drinking, but I didn't like it. Actually, at first I was like, it was fine. It was fine. So most Australian beers are lagers, which is a very... Australians are like going to bristle at this, but it's a very weak beer. It's a very weak tasting beer.
Is that what because it's
English? Yeah. Well, draft people would be like, it's a draft beer, but it's not really. Most of these beers are lagers in taste, at the very least. There'll be beer nerds who'll come at me about this, but it's not. It's true, because England likes lager. That lager is a very English beer, and so a lot of Australian beers are the same as well. So like there was a period where I worked at a specialist beer bar, that my mates opened, and without fail, every second person who come up to the bar would be like a 30-year-old guy who'd brought their 60-year-old dad with them, and the son would
Yeah.
want to try everything that was on the menu, and every fucking boomer that walked into this bar would be like, "Oh, mate, I just want a beer that tastes like beer." And what
And don't get
Australians
too much of
mean,
that.
but what they mean by that is a lager. They want a lager. So
Uh-huh.
they want like Great Northern. They want, that
For
kind
it's
of piss
cold.
weak. But that's what they want. Swan, every beer, 4X was a lager. Foster's is a lager. Like all of these beers, that's what they want. And most American beers
Yeah.
are like that too. They'll call them
American
pilsners a lot of the
beer.
time. But anyway, see, now you've got me going.
Sorry, yeah, and like what a
But
topic.
I liked old school beer brewing techniques. So I was very much a hipster who liked hoppy beers and, the kind of beers that old men complain about. Oh God, the bloody hops. Like, yeah, but that's, I mean, you can have
That's
barley
what beer
beers
is.
and wheat beers and stuff like that. Germans have a lot of wheat beers, barley beers are, anyway. Yeah. So I
I went
loved drinking and I loved being a pompous fucking nerd about it, the same way I am with wrestling, the same way I am with cinema, the same way I am with books, the same way I am with cricket. Yeah. So I was
I
still the
don't
same
think
person,
it was
just
cricket.
drunker and more fun.
No, I don't think you were more fun. Not that I knew you at the time, but I do think that the level of fun that you are now and the level of kind of self-aware that you are now makes you more fun.
Yeah, probably. Probably. But
Yeah, I think so. And as someone who doesn't
I
really
was
drink very
more
often.
likely to do things.
Yeah, but the
Like I
thing
would
is,
leave the house more.
right, but and I think we've talked about this on the potty before, but you were using alcohol as a way of masking how
Oh,
you
100%.
were experiencing the world. And now that you have that kind of, you have the diagnosis and you have way more self-awareness about it, I think that the way that you go about things is more with your self-protection in mind, which I actually think is better. And I think people should do that more frequently. Um, I try not to drink very often because I have a tendency to binge drink once the kind of walls come down a little bit and I feel like I can be relaxed. So I don't drink very often.
Mm.
Because yeah, I do find that when I do, I lose control very quickly once I have kind of control in other ways, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because looking back on it, it was a way to relax in social situations, which felt nice.
Yeah.
Because not being diagnosed as well, you don't know why you feel like that 100% of the time. I still have this problem where I'm like, did you ever watch Kath and Kim, the TV show at all?
Yes. Yeah.
There's
I've watched and rewatched.
there's a scene that Cal quotes all the time where Kath, the mum, is like, she's done all the housework. There's nothing to do. And I think she's
Yeah.
like, I can't remember why there's nothing for her to do. But she walks in the kitchen. She's like, right, what have I got to do? Nothing. Okay, right. But she's doing it in
It's
this really
because
like,
it's because Cal had done all of the chores for her and she wasn't used to having a man living with her
that's
again.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's what I feel. My brain is like Kath all the time. I think most people on the spectrum could, relate to that. So booze and
Yeah.
drugs, party drugs. I wasn't doing hard drugs, but except for dope, which drove me schizophrenic. But like speed and ecstasy, like especially along with drinking, just
Yeah.
allowed you to like let all your defenses down because you physically couldn't keep them up. And so
Yeah.
that feeling, as much as the feeling of being drunk, was something that I chased. Looking back on it
Yeah.
in in hindsight, and then also something that I've been thinking about a lot as well is that I actually enjoyed being hungover. As much as I would bitch about
Yeah.
it and be like, "Oh God, I feel so awful," it was an excuse to
Yeah.
stop my brain, stop my body. I'm gonna lie in this bed the whole day you know.
And like no
So
one can
then,
tell you not to because you're hungover. And that's what everybody expects.
yeah, some people would try.
It's one
But,
time you actually are kind of meeting the societal expectations in a situation.
we could get away with, I mean, to a point. Once you got to a certain age, people were a bit like, which again is fair enough. But like, anyway, I don't know. I'm finding,
My
I'm
headphone
finding
just
it
fell
harder
down.
and harder as I get, huh?
My headphone just fell out of my ear and just rolled down my little blankie that I'm sitting under.
Oh, I didn't
and
see.
just
Sorry,
fell onto my desk.
I was too busy doing the autistic no eye contact thing, looking at the roof.
No, it's okay for the viewers. It's a big comedy moment where my headphone just rolls on out and escapes, runs away. Like, actually,
Yeah.
Damian, you're boring me now. Bye bye.
Yeah, well, that's
No,
probably fair enough.
that was a joke.
No, I was just going to start talking about like, we were talking earlier about like sort of protecting your space and stuff. What I'm finding more and more frustrating the older I get and the longer I live with the diagnosis, and you know, once you're diagnosed, you learn more about it. Even if you were completely passive about your diagnosis and just like, oh, well, I'm autistic, more stuff's going to show up on your socials. You're going to talk about it with other people. Like, other stuff's going to come into your orbit about your diagnosis, even if you don't do anything about it. But if anyone's learned anything about me through this podcast, I am not that person. And so I've learned a lot about the diagnosis in a really short amount of time. And again, that's something that autistic people have to deal with a lot, because you get accused of being obsessed. He's going to make it. This is something that's been said by friends to me to my face of like, oh God, now he's going to make this his personality. You know what I mean?
Can I say, as someone else who
It's like,
sits on the
it's always
spectrum,
been my personality.
Yeah.
This has actually
also,
been my personality.
the thing for me that's actually been really helpful for me, because I'm not that kind of person. I prefer to not know much about what is wrong with me for a lot of things, because I have a couple of physical things wrong with me that I feel like I know too much about. So not knowing really what's going on up here is for the best for me. But that meant that this week I could ask you questions and you were able to very quickly be like, yeah, you're right. You are feeling that worse because of it. You know, that was really helpful for me. So you're a very good resource.
Yeah, we did have that conversation. Well, what was going on there? Why did you want to talk about that on the podcast or no?
Oh, so I was actually doing research for the pod to talk about this, because I am hella burnt out, like hella
Right.
burnt out. And I haven't experienced burnout like this, where I feel so, the word is dysregulated. I cannot have a correct emotional response to anything. I cried at work on Monday. Like, I just cannot get myself back to like baseline.
Yeah.
And I've tried, I went on a holiday and I was like, well, this will be good for me. No, it's 4 days of crazy, like go, go, go. It will not allow you to rest. But the second I do have time to rest, I'm so bad at using it to rest, because my brain just wants to go. I've got like 55 new hobbies I want to start. When I was in Tassie, I went to this specialist mead place, and now I'm like, I could brew my own mead. I could spin my own yarn. I could get chickens.
Yeah, I'm only laughing because I relate.
No, but truly, I get so into it so quickly, and then I'm like, I'm going on. So it's my birthday this week. I guess it's Sunday, so I guess this week. By the time this podcast comes out, it will have already been my birthday. Yeah.
When is it?
Podcast is coming out today. It's next Saturday, the 18th.
Oh, I have to put that in my calendar.
And so for my birthday, I'm spending the whole day doing my other special interest, which is yarn. And so we're going to the Bendigo Wool and Sheep Show. Yeah. I've never been so excited. And I have every intention to learn when I'm there how to spin my own yarn, because I know that there is a thing for that. And so I keep building myself all these things I want to do that just cannot fit inside of, like, I do a 9 to 5 and then also a 5 to 9. But the 5 to 9 is just me trying to enjoy the things that I actually enjoy about life. And so I feel so burnt out from just trying to enjoy things at the end of the day when I'm really tired, But then if I don't do the things that I enjoy, I feel worse. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm exhausted because I'm not getting enough sleep trying to actually fill my own cup as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
just filling my work cup. That then
Yeah.
I am exhausted, I'm wrecked. I need like a week to disconnect from everything and just do the things that bring me joy and fill my cup. But there's no time for
Mm-hmm.
that ever. Because even
Mm.
when it's like well, I'll take a holiday and I'll go and do something. It's like, well, I'm on holiday now, so I still have to do holiday things.
Yeah.
There's no like go on holiday, sit in the bath and knit.
Mate, that's the it's the perfect description of the autistic I keep saying autism. I should say spectrum, but like
I feel like I need to, now that I have done rides since we started talking on the podcast, and that's been a really fun thing for me to figure out about myself along this podcast journey. I should probably go and get a diagnosis and see if I actually am on the autism spectrum, like formally.
yeah,
Maybe.
yeah,
I think
probably.
when I first did rides and we talked about it, I kind of poo-pooed getting another diagnosis, but maybe it'd be helpful.
Yeah, it also doesn't have to happen straight away. And
Mm.
self-diagnosis, I mean, there's conjecture about this, but I think self-diagnosis is just as valid.
I feel fine about it because it's not
Or
just self-diagnosis, it's
as
also I'm peer
valid.
reviewed.
Yeah.
I've been peer reviewed. You and my wife are both very comfortable in saying that I've got the AUDHD.
Yeah, well, I'll start pushing Cal towards it now. She
I
is a
think
classic ADHD person, like 100%. And
mm,
there are two different Kellys that live in the house. There's the Ritalin Kelly and there's the non-Ritalin Kelly. So like she definitely has ADHD and she really struggles when she doesn't have it. So I'm not
yeah.
dismissing that at all. But there's definitely burnout going on and emotional reactions to stuff. And anyway, but yeah, your description of that is the perfect description of burnout. And I don't think I think it's probably the thing that gets dismissed the most.
Yeah.
With autism from neurotypical people, because they think we're saying tired.
I'm not tired.
No.
My body feels empty.
Yeah.
Sleep isn't going to fix it. My body feels empty. And it's very hard to explain, especially because most of my friends I work with, now it's like, it's not that I don't love coming to work and spending time with you all. It's just that if I don't figure out a way to balance this soon, I don't know how I'm going to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I
I
mean,
love everyone I work with. I love what I do for a job, but far out Brussels sprouts. I need to spin yarn. I need to fill my
yeah.
personal cup because my personal cup is so empty. And that
Well,
little
that's
bits
why.
just don't fix it.
Oh well, yeah. I wanted to get to that as well, but I feel like we talked about this a lot, and I don't want to bitch about my situation. But moving teams at work and having the ability to have more flexibility in my roster has been a huge win for my
Yeah.
diagnosis.
And that's something I'm
Massive, and
definitely getting now as well.
and my boss has been really good with it as well. So I'm pretty lucky. It's something I need to remind myself of when I'm
When you're feeling a bit,
having a yeah.
when you're having a bad day, sometimes it's very easy to blame the things that seem very obvious. And that's why I keep reminding myself of, like, I do love my job and I love my team and I love what I do, but it doesn't necessarily fill my cup. It's the thing I do for work.
Yeah, and it could be even if you had the best job on it. Like, for me, the first thing that comes into my head is like, oh, imagine being on the writing staff of a TV show where everyone loved each other, or we were doing this full time. Let's say we were doing this full time and we're earning money out of it
Yeah,
and blah blah and touring. That would be amazing, right? But there would still be days where I'd walk out to the kitchen and be like, fuck, I've got 6 fucking hours of editing to do, and all I want to do is go for a walk, and it would still be the same shit. It wouldn't
100%.
matter because that's the way our brain and body are wired. We can't do
Yeah.
anything. We can't do anything about. I mean, I have been trying some things, and we can talk about that a little bit later if you want. Because we on the last episode we talked about CBT stuff, which I've
Yeah.
gotten really lax on. So I've started a morning meditation practice. And
How
I
how
do
do you how are
find
you
it,
finding it?
I do think it helps. I do
Yeah.
think it helps to, like, especially for brains that are constantly running all the time, like they're always
Yeah.
idling, to take 5 minutes. Like, I've just been doing breath work. That's it.
Yeah.
So
If it
just like
works, it
4 or
works.
5, like 4 in, hold, 4 out, hold. That's it for 5 minutes.
I know.
That's it. And I think it's helping, even if it's just psychosomatic. It's helping.
No, it
You know?
does. It does. And I can tell you the science behind it because I've had to do it. It like forces your heartbeat to regulate itself
Yeah,
because of how
right.
you're breathing. I panic attacks. I have had that breath work repeated to me over and over again, and it works, and it really does work, and it like helps you center yourself because you're
Yeah, because I was
focusing on it.
finding my anxiety. Let me try and say that word in English. My anxiety when I woke up every morning was like I was literally waking up like Renton when Renton gets hit with the Narcan in Trainspotting, just like like
Yeah,
just fucking and really, there isn't right now. There's probably less for me to worry about than at any other point in my life or adult life.
yeah,
Like I have a house, we've got 2 incomes, everything's pretty hunky dory in our relationship.
yeah.
Um, you know what I mean? Like there isn't really. We,
A
we
like
both have
trigger
our
for the
health,
anxiety.
yeah, right. But it's like it pulls up all night, and then I'd wake up in the morning and be like, and then the minute I'd wake up, I'd be on my phone. I'm looking at stuff. I got to go to work, and I got to do this and blah blah. So it just became a nice ritual. Because I was actually thinking like I kept thinking about smoking cigarettes. It's
Yeah.
like, oh God, it'd be good if I could just go out for 5 minutes and have a smoke. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because that's what I used to
I
use
mean,
cigarettes for. And then
yeah.
the sensible guy in my head was like, well, you could just do that without the smoke, man. So that's why I started doing
How?
it.
I want to do that. I want my little like dopamine vape machine following me around.
I got kind of obsessed with oral cancer, mouth cancer, and so that made me stop smoking.
Kind of obsessed. I know that obsession. I know it sits within you.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
fear overrides overrides any like, hey man, maybe we should have a cigarette. Except on my wedding day. That fear
Well,
outweighed that other fear.
and then also on your honeymoon.
Listen, it's rude not to smoke in Japan.
I got a packet of Japanese cigarettes from my tobacconist, and can I tell you, they are on something over there. It's great.
Mate, they're selling them for $3 a
Japanese
packet.
Marlboro Ices.
How
We're
can
gonna
you
get
say
fully.
no?
We're gonna get like banned on YouTube because I keep vaping on video, and then we just talk about cigarettes for 40 minutes.
Ah, whatever.
Also,
I'll mark the
how
episode as
great is my
for
Snoopy
kids.
mug? Look, it's got Snoopy.
Yeah.
How great is my Snoopy mug?
Snoopy is loved in Japan as well. Massive, like peanuts is a
Snoopy.
massive thing in Japan.
I know. I keep buying all of the peanut stuff at Uniqlo. You've seen me wear it. I think I've worn in one of our recorded episodes of the podcast. I'm wearing a Uniqlo Peanuts jumper. Yes, like and subscribe for more content where I talk about vaping and Snoopy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for coming along.
I'm
Do you
getting to
have
know
like
this mixing program, so I'm just putting more and more
do you
stuff
have
in
any
here. So,
like sorry, I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you have any like
mhm.
micro special interests? Like it's not like a main special interest, like Snoopy for me. So Snoopy's my profile picture on Slack at work. A lot of my mugs have Snoopo on them. I love buying clothes with Snoopy on. Kind of like the Sanrio characters. Like I have like a lot of Kuromi stuff, less Hello Kitty stuff, more Kuromi stuff. Like I'm not like seeking out this content, but if I'm somewhere and I see it, I'm like, well, I have to have it. It has Snoopy on it.
Oh, no. It's like 0 to 100 with me.
Okay,
No,
fair.
I'm sure there probably is if I thought about it hard enough. I mean, there are directors and authors that I'm into, but I'm not obsessed with.
Yeah.
But then it
Like, I'm
kind
not
of
like,
tends to be, like Wes Anderson is a director that I like, but I
yeah.
don't own any of his films on Blu-ray. If a film comes out, I'm like, oh, there's a Wes Anderson film out, but I won't be like, I've got to go watch this. So is that kind of what you're talking about?
Kind of. Like, I don't sit and watch, like, anything Peanuts, but if I see Snoopy somewhere, I'm going to buy Snoopy. He's my special
No.
buddy.
No, I'm too
That's fair.
obsessed.
No,
Yeah.
that's fair. I just wanted to
I've
know if that was
always
something that you also.
I've always kind of been
All.
I mean, soccer during the World Cup has been like a micro obsession where I almost
Yeah.
bought the Socceroos away shirt, and then I was like checking to see if Western United had been put back in the A League so I could go to A League games. But not well, they might
No,
actually.
but that's it.
There's a
Yeah.
meeting this week.
Are they getting their women's side back or just their men's side back?
Both the whole club. But there's
Because
two
the
there's two
Newcastle.
guys who want to buy the club and bring them back into the A
Hi,
League.
Evie.
Yeah, I'm hoping my high pass filter blocks them out, but I don't think that's happening.
That's all right. They're sweeties. I think it was Newcastle. I might be about to misspeak, and
Canberra?
if so, I will
You're talking
correct
about
myself.
the Canberra women's team?
No, it's I think the Newcastle team, because someone bought them, but only the men's side and didn't pick up the women's side. So now the women need other funding because someone's bought the men's team, but not the womenmen's team. They only
Was that
wanted the men.
Central Coast, maybe?
Oh my god, it was Central Coast, I think. The Mariners.
Yeah. I only know about
Yeah,
that because I was reading an article about Western United, and at the end of it, they were also like, and also Canberra United in the women's team league are probably not going to play this season, and also Central Coast Mariners have been bought, but only the men's team. I was like, what the fuck is going on with Football Australia? Like,
and Sam Kerr,
guys,
bless her cotton socks, talked about
yeah.
it during the week because she's recently signed with a new club, and she is just unimpressed by what's happening with the A-League women, especially post World Cup, because we had such a big spike during the World Cup. And even now, Tilly's games sell out so quickly. Like, if you're going to see the Matildas, you find the Socceroos have a much harder time selling out the stadium in Australia than the Matildas do. But it's just not there for the A-League. People just won't show up.
They expanded it too quickly. They put it behind a paywall. Every fucking sport that gets put behind a paywall in this country dies, especially as far as crowds are concerned. I've seen it happen with cricket. And you know, I had really got into football around the 2006 World Cup. Like, I was already kind of into it, but my sister was dating a guy who was really into football, and we started going to Melbourne Victory games together and stuff.
That's nice.
And they expanded too quickly. Like when each city had, I think there were 6 teams: Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Brisbane, Perth, and New Zealand. I think
And
were
then,
the
yeah, it
original
was.
6 teams.
And then at some point, Melbourne
That's when
got a
you were
second
getting
team,
50,000 people at Melbourne Victory games. You were getting 30,000 people at Sydney FC games. They expanded way too quickly to sell TV rights. They got too greedy too quickly. And that was never ever, like, the idea that you're going to compete with the NRL or AFL for TV rights and blah blah, and then putting it on Foxtel or now on Paramount Plus is so fucking dumb. You put every game on Channel 10 because people will find it. Because especially if there's no other sport on, and put it on during the winter.
Well, that's it.
Right now that the AFL only has 3 games a weekend on free-to-air TV, have 10 games of A-League on free-to-air TV.
Well, because my mother-in-law is staying with us at the moment, so we watch way more. We don't really watch free TV when it's just us. We'll just put on Criminal Minds for 9 hours and watch 9 hours of Criminal Minds. I'm staunchly against advertisements on television.
Same.
But I have to tell you about my binge situation. Anyway, come back to that. So we've been watching more free-to-air TV because that is what she is used to, because she does not do the streaming services. And I would, if there was more sports on free TV, I would just put it on for the sake of it. I've watched so many AFL games just because it's on.
Yeah.
NRL games, it's on. So, it makes noise. They can always get excited during sports as well. It's a nice emotional high.
I was watching a test match between the West Indies and New Zealand this morning.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't even really paying attention. I was doing other stuff, but I just had it on.
Yeah.
In the background.
Exactly.
And I was watching it because the West Indies Cricket Association had it on YouTube for free.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. You need to get more things on for free. That's especially for sports, especially in Australia. Because it's horrific now. KO has ruined my life because I'm not paying for it. It's not happening.
Yeah, I've gone halves with my mum on a KO subscription.
Yeah. See, I do
just
that
because my stepdad watches so much golf and we watch footy, so it kind of pays for itself in a way. But it's not. It's at $45 now, so we're paying $22.50 each a month.
Yeah.
For this, and it'll go up again, and it'll go up again. These companies, sport's hard, right? Because the rights, like the AFL TV rights, is at $1 billion,
which is ridiculous.
Which is fucking crazy.
And
I think the NRL's similar.
Well, they just sold the rights again to Foxtel for $2 billion or something. Fuck. Our mate Zach could tell you more about it. They know all about that.
Yeah.
So Stream Motion, the company that own KO, also own another app called Binge.
Mm-hmm.
And Binge is mostly a lot of the Foxtel programs. So you've got, your Real Housewives of wherever. Anyway, I was on the McDonald's app.
Foxtel here is our cable company for anyone in the States.
That's
like
true.
Sky in the UK.
Which it's kind of obsolete now, which is why they have a lot of apps, so KO for sports, Binge for their other trash. But I didn't have Binge, and I opened the My Macca's app the other day, and they were like, would you like 6 months of Binge in exchange for 10,000 My McDonald's points? And that actually is a very good financial investment. So I was like, yes, I would. And I exchanged 10,000 My points. And then I thought, I'll see if they've got one for KO. They want 12,000 points a month for KO. But you get 6 months of Binge for 10,000.
How many points do you get for a large Big Mac meal?
You get, I think it's 1 point for every dollar spent. So is it 1 point for every dollar? Let's find out. Let's open the My Macca's app.
I feel like it's more than that. I feel like you get more points than that.
I will find out and I will let you know. I'm opening the app. I try. I'm really terrible.
But the finances aren't good. That Binge deal is great. That's awesome.
It's $100 for every dollar you spend. So it costs me what, $10?
$1. Yeah. So $10 you get 1,000 points.
Yeah. So I use 10,000 points. Do the math on that.
Spend $100 a month. Is that what they're saying?
$120 a month.
At McDonald's, you can spend $120 a month at McDonald's, and you'll get KO for free.
You'll get KO for free. But Binge, I will say this. So Binge it's not Binge for free. It is still with ads. So it's basic Binge with ads.
Oh my God. So sorry, KO for free. But that's still
it's not even entirely for free for 12,000 points. Binge, which I use 10,000 points on. I fucking
hope so.
Still has ads, which I didn't know it still had ads.
That's bullshit as well. That's utter bullshit.
Now that I'm doing the math in my head, it actually would have been cheaper to just pay for Binge, because Binge with ads is only $10 a month. So I would have actually saved $40.
That would be the equivalent of signing up for a Patreon podcast and having ads all through it.
Yeah. No ads here until, I don't know, when's something going to sponsor us? Snoopy, sponsor me.
Yeah, we'd have to be ethical with it, and I'd be pretty militant about it. It would have to be something like Doctors Without Borders, and then we wouldn't be getting any money out of it. It would just be,
No, yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's just us talking about companies that we really like and support, and they give us nothing. But we're in the background like, go you guys.
Are there any companies that I like? I don't think so. Oh, AEW. AEW is
Yeah,
a company I
AEW you
like.
like.
Uh,
I listened to your other. I watched your YouTube video. I watched one of them on Wrestle Wolf during the week because you sent it to me, and your phone lit up when I said Wrestle Wolf, and it's like it was waiting for you. It's like a beacon. But I got to learn more about one of your special interests. And can I say, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed getting to just sit and listen to you talk about something that you obviously are so passionate about. It was beautiful. I mean, we've
oh,
done that
thanks,
before on this
mate.
podcast where you've talked about politics and stuff, but like hearing you talk about wrestling is like it's one of those things of, it's like me and Lord of the Rings. It's a special
Yeah.
interest that lots of people aren't going to just ask you about all the time. So hearing you actually talk about it and be passionate about it was really joyful.
Oh, thanks, mate. It's
So yeah,
I
I want to
really
learn more about AEW. Let me give you an advertisement that you didn't ask for, an unscripted advertisement. Is it just Wrestle Wolf or does there numbers at the end?
yeah, it's just called Wrestle Wolf, and I
Wrestle
mean,
Wolf.
I don't know what I just wanted to talk about wrestling on YouTube because
Yeah.
I think there's a few guys who are starting to do it now that are solo projects where they sort of speak their mind, and that's cool. But there's not
Yeah.
many. Most of them are very well-oiled machines, even the YouTube channels. So things like
Yeah.
Cultaholic, Wrestle Talk, these sort of big YouTube channels that they are companies that pay people wages and stuff.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that for them to continue to exist, they have to subsist off
Sell
the biggest
themselves
wrestling
out.
promotion, which is WWE,
Yeah.
and they can't cut that cord, even though I would say over the last year and a half, it's been pretty fucking obvious that the WWE is an entertainment arm of a fascistic Nazi regime
Mm.
in America. There would be a lot of people who would be like, "Oh, come on, man, come on, it's just a." Mate, when you're showing Trump fucking ads at your pay-per-views, when you've got the head of the organization at the UFC event on the front lawn of the White House and their number one star there as well, like. Anyway, there's a lot of reasons why I don't watch WWE, but I understand AEW is a company run by a billionaire, but I just think, like, I've been watching wrestling since I was 5. I'm 47 now. I think this is the best wrestling I've ever seen, including
Yeah.
in Japan. So I just want to talk about
That's
it, but I
huge.
end up talking about the politics as always. Like, I always get wrapped up in that. But what I want to start doing is I want to start doing long form breakdowns of old TV episodes of AEW, and then I
Yeah.
want to go back and do 70s and 80s wrestling as well.
It didn't
Yeah.
feel the video that I watched was like I think 14 minutes long, and it didn't feel like you got stuck in the politics. It felt like you explained something in a way that was very accessible. So
Oh, that's
if you've
cool.
not, yeah, if you've not interacted with Damian's wrestling content, I would really recommend it. As someone who doesn't watch wrestling, I actually thoroughly enjoyed learning something new.
Yeah, that could be a really
Like
good angle to use with the channel of sort of explaining who everybody is and what's going on, and because
it made
I
it,
think that is something that wrestling does suffer from. That whatever promotion you're watching, there's kind of an expectation that, and let's face it, these TV shows are essentially soap operas, and they kind of
yeah,
expect that you have been watching the show. The same as soap operas, they sort of expect that you've been watching the show for 40 years, and you know. So at the moment, AEW, there's a guy who's shown up called Mick Foley, who used to be in WWE, and he had a character called Mankind. He also had a character called Cactus Jack, but then sometimes he'd also just be Mick Foley.
okay.
And he's like a hardcore legend. So like he's very famous for being thrown off a cage by the Undertaker, and then getting back up and wrestling the rest of the match. And so, but if you all this
I
shit
really do
happened
love the
in
drama of it.
Oh, it's crazy. All this stuff happened in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So if you're if you're old, if you're younger than 25, 26 years old, you got no fucking idea what's going on, unless for some reason you're going back and watching your dad's wrestling tapes, which you may or may not be doing, but you're probably not. And then when he showed up in AEW, and everyone who's there does know who Mick Foley is, right? And I
Yeah.
know who he is. And so there's this huge reaction. So you know from the crowd reaction, oh, this guy's a big deal. But I guarantee that with most people, you know, if they're just watching it on the fly or they're watching a clip on, you know, they know who MJF is because he's the champion of AEW, but they might not know who Mick Foley is.
Yeah.
But there's this, they talk about him, you know, the way he's presented is like, this is like it's Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen. Like, you should just know who this guy is. So that could be a good angle for the channel to explain who is Mick Foley,
I think,
who is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's what I was going to say. It's very hard, especially as an adult, because getting into something new means exposing the fact that you don't know anything about something. And I think a lot of people really struggle with that. And I think as well, especially people like us, the wind is heavy, strong, it's not heavy. But especially people like us, because I don't like to feel like an idiot in a room, because I already feel like eyes are on me because I'm acting like an idiot. And so when I want to get into something new, it's a lot of like, I need to learn everything very quickly, and I need to learn it in a way where no one knows that I'm brand new to this, because I'll look a fool, and I can't look a fool.
Yeah, that's probably my autistic brain explaining things for autistic people, you know, in that way of like, and blah, 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 and this is blah, blah, blah. And, but yeah, that is a big problem for people on the spectrum, is because, you know, this stat I use a lot, but like a 12-year-old girl with undiagnosed ADHD has been rejected by the people around her 30,000 times by the time she's 12. Yeah. That kind of rejection, if you don't know what rejection means, it means stop doing that. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why can't you just be like your brother? That kind of shit. That's happened, like negative reinforcement's happened 30,000 times in 12 years. So we
much.
grow up as adults who are terrified of doing the wrong thing.
Of saying the wrong thing, being incorrect in a situation. You know what I really struggle with? If I go out to eat a food I've never had before, I need to like wait and see how other people eat the food, because what if I eat it wrong? No, I had this right.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm only laughing because I
know you're not laughing at me.
Yeah.
Because like fruit, right? I had never cut a mango myself until like a year ago, because I was so afraid of doing it wrong in the presence of someone who knew how to do it, that I was just like, I'll just buy my mangoes frozen.
Right.
What am I doing? I had to ask my wife, like, how do I peel a kiwi? Because I've never seen anyone else do it, and I don't know how to do it. I need like a autist's guide to eating fruit. Like what to do.
That should have been the name of this podcast. The autistic's guide to eating fruit.
I need but how do I eat? You know, the first time I went out for like ramen, and I was like, do I just drink the soup first? Do I eat the It's so complicated. Like, how do I eat this thing? Why am I overthinking it so much? So that's, I mean, to go back to what we started with, your content and being like, this is who this person is. This is why there's, you know, you're talking about CJ.
Oh, CM Punk. CJ Punk's
CM Punk. CM Punk. I'm AJ, so I just assume everybody's second initial is J. My wife is CJ.
His wife's name is AJ. CM Punk's wife's name is AJ Mendez.
Sick. I love that.
She's a wrestler.
Pop off
too.
AJ Mendez.
Yeah.
Hot. Great. Should have been me. But I don't know. I've got the dramatic flair. But like learning something, and then I can be like, oh, if I end up in a conversation and someone brings up CM Punk, I'm like, oh, well, I know something about this actually. Look at me. I do know things. I can be, you know, a vital force of conversation.
Because there's a part of me when I'm doing those videos of like, I don't write anything down. I'm just blah. It's weird. I get this like pent up thing after a few weeks of like, I need to go and talk about wrestling. But I don't even end up, like the latest one I've done is about this Irish guy, Seamus, who kind of got fucked over by WWE. Anyway, and I had no intention of talking about him. I just went on X and it was the first story that came up. I only go on X for wrestling stuff. Get off my back. Not you.
I
just
refuse to call it that name. It's Twitter. Do not
Twitter.
give in to the Sticks name, which only works if you eat Australian lollies and know what a musk stick is.
Elon Musk stick. Yeah, good. I like it.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for watching them and being so nice about those videos, AJ. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
I really enjoyed it. And I just, maybe you can start paying for advertisements in this podcast. Go check out WrestleWolf on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
Oh, man, this WrestleWolf money is keeping me afloat. Damian. You are WrestleWolf. I'm just giving half of my money to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
just half of your paycheck straight into my bank account. I've got a big brain on about this one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I was going to talk about socializing and stuff. I'm really worried. Am I worried? Maybe that's not the correct term.
It sounds like you are. You started with worried.
No, I'm finding socializing less and less fun.
Like going out with friends.
Yeah. I just love sitting around, drinking coffee, talking, and blah, blah. But I think the other thing that happens as well is as you get older, you just don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, here are the things that I have to talk about in a social setting. Work, my dog, and then like my special interests. So if I'm having a conversation with someone that I don't work with, who doesn't know my dog or who doesn't share one of my special interests, I'm up shit creek and I do not have a paddle. I also find, and we talked about this, like things getting worse as you get older, I can't make small talk anymore. I just don't have it in me. I was
just about to say the exact same thing.
Yeah, I do not have the ability to create small talk. I'll answer it if other people provide it, but I don't have any questions to ask you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's so fucking it physically fucking drains, but I just want to be like, like I want to make that sound. Fuck my God.
Stop it. Shut up.
Tell me something fucking interesting about yourself.
You know what I mean? Give me something to work with.
What if you had, I try and start conversations like this where it's like, if you didn't have to work ever again, what would you do with the rest of your life? And the vast majority of people will be like, oh, I don't know what I would do. I would, how much money am I getting? Like it immediately becomes like a math equation of like, well, I would just take that money, I'd put it in my superannuation, and I'd keep working.
No. If I could know, if I didn't have to work anymore, I would move to the countryside, spin my own yarn, completely detached from real people and live off the land.
Yeah. I don't really care what your answer is. It just can't be work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to build your own business, maybe, okay. You know what I mean? Like if you want to create a career in the arts or something and you want to be a singer or you want to be a comedian, okay, great. But to be so confined by the narrowness of free market capitalism, you're like, oh, I'm just going to work. You're like,
why?
You could watch every film ever made.
You could read every book. Well, probably not, but you could read a lot of the books.
You could read a lot of books.
You could read a lot of books.
You're going to put a lot of them down because some of them aren't going to be for you and some of them are overrated. Some of them aren't written that well. You know what I mean?
True. This is true. I'm trying to read Lolita at the moment because I've never finished it. I've started it and never managed to finish it. And then every couple of years I'll be like, I should read Lolita. And then I'll go out and I'll buy the Penguin Classic copy and I'll read maybe a chapter and then I'll put it down and be like, I'll try again in a couple of years when I buy another copy of Lolita and want to read it again. I've been trying to read the book since I was about 15, so it's been like 17 years of trying to read Lolita. I think I just need to abandon it, but just buy another copy in a couple of years.
You'll get there eventually one day.
I literally put it on the bookshelf last night. That's how much I was like, no, this clearly isn't happening again.
Yeah, I had that with War and Peace for the longest time, and then I eventually, during lockdowns, read it. That was a huge fucking undertaking. And you know what?
That's a slog.
Yeah, not that good. Not that good a book.
It's a slog. I would truly recommend just reading Lord of the Rings if you want something that's going to take forever to read.
Yeah, I've read Lord of the Rings a long time.
I think the first time I read Fellowship, it took me like 6 months of like reading between doing other things because I was like, this is forever. This is so fucking long. It's a chapter about a tree. I have a character from that universe tattooed on my body, and even I was like, far out. Tolkien was on something, but good on him. Whatever it was.
That can happen with short books as well. I just finished Live and Let Die, which is the second Bond book. So I read Casino Royale, which is the first one, and it's great. They're probably 4 or 5 hour reads, these Ian Fleming Bond novels. So I read Casino Royale and was like, that's great. Love it. Awesome. No notes. And then I was reading Live and Let Die. And the first 2/3 of the book, I was like, fuck, this might be even better. It's super violent. And Felix Leiter, who's like Bond's CIA best buddy / counterpart, gets eaten by a shark but fucking lives. Like the bad guy feeds him to a shark, but he lives, and he's like this fucking corpse, but he like tells Bond to like go after these guys for him and stuff. It's pretty fucked up. But then it becomes this weird book where like the last 4 chapters, he's like in the Caribbean and he's going to, you don't even really meet the bad guy. There's this like he's talked about in the book, but Bond has like a very short confrontation with him at the end of the book. But it just felt like for an hour and a half I was reading about James Bond swimming in the ocean. You know what I mean? Like, because first and foremost, it felt like Fleming didn't have an ending for the book, didn't know how to like finish it.
And then it's just like struggling to find it.
Yeah, and I also know that he had moved to the West Indies around this time. Like he'd moved to the Caribbean and was living there.
Yeah.
So it obviously moved to the beach and was obsessed with the sea and stuff. So like the last 3 or 4 chapters of this book is like, the ocean's pretty good. These fish are crazy, man. Have you ever come across a fucking barracuda? They're crazy. That's essentially what this book felt like at the end. It was like, imagine James Bond versus a barracuda. That'd be fucking crazy. And I've never wanted the book to end. You know, and I'm invested. I love James Bond. Like, I love Bond. That's why I'm reading all the books. I want to read, there's like 50 books. I want to read all of them because, of course, I do.
Yeah.
And I was like, I finished the second one. I was like, I might take a break from the Bond books, I think.
Maybe a break from Bond.
Casino Royale's really good, though. You should read that. That's right.
I really love crime fiction. I don't think I've ever told you this. I think the only person I've ever told this, Chelsea, is my dream is to write a crime fiction novel. And I didn't care about crime fiction at all until She Who Shall Not Be Named started writing crime fiction under a different name, Robert Galbraith. And I read the first book in that series and was like, oh, that's what's been hiding over in the crime fiction aisle of the store.
Yeah.
I've never wandered down there before. I should wander down there. And then I got really into reading all the Sherlock Holmeses. That was incredible. I read a bunch of Agatha Christie. Amazing. I just want to write a really cool crime novel.
I had to
spin my own yarn and brew my own mead.
Yeah, I know, right? I had to read Raymond Chandler. He's kind of the original noir writer.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to forget the main character. He wrote a character that was sort of the precursor. It was like the original action hero, and I'm not going to remember the character's name. But anyway, he wrote a series of books with this guy in it. He was an LA detective. But he kind of also had this like the way a lot of Harrison Ford characters are, that like they're an action guy, but also a bit bumbling. You know, the way Indiana Jones
Yeah.
will like fucking make mistakes, but is also. So he was a bit like that.
I don't
too,
really
like,
know anything about Indiana Jones, but I'm nodding along like I do.
oh, you would love those movies.
Lost
So much.
Ark,
Anyway,
Raiders of.
oh God, I'm trying. Anyway, the character will come to me like in 10 minutes time. So I had to read a novel of Raymond Chandler's for uni, because we were doing, I don't know, maybe a mystery writing class or something. I can't remember. And I read one of his books, and again, they're only like 4 or 5. They're tiny, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry about my dogs popping off in the background.
I absolutely love them.
It's Sunday afternoon, so everyone walks their dogs at like 1 hour intervals, and when the dogs walk past, especially Evie, goes fucking crazy. But anyway, yeah, I read Raymond Chandler and was like, oh, detective stories are great. Like, they're so fun.
They are.
And then I was like, oh, this is Blade Runner. You know the film Blade Runner with Harrison Ford? I know you've
I've
probably
seen that
never
one.
seen it. Yeah.
I've seen the
it's one of
first
my
one.
favorite movies. Yeah, it's great. It's one of my favorite
It's not
movies. But
bad.
it's like, I'm like, oh, this is just that. Like, Blade Runner is just a Raymond Chandler story set, you know, in 2241 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, that's why it's called a neon noir. Makes sense.
That does make sense.
It makes sense now.
I like that.
Yeah, I love detective stuff. So I haven't so read a whole bunch of Raymond Chandler, and then I started reading a lot of the like LA crime books, like LA Confidential and stuff like that, with a hard boiled. Oh, you know what? Also, I got into at the same time, Bosch, the TV show Bosch, which is essentially a noir detective show. AJ, if you like detective stories, you should watch Bosch. You'll really enjoy it.
Okay. All right. Okay, maybe. I'll add it to the list.
You don't have to, because I know like when people tell me to watch stuff, I immediately feel anxiety about it.
No, I'm like in the depths of Criminal Minds at the moment. I'm trying to catch up to season 19 because Connor Story's big episode is next week, and I am this close to the end of season 16, and I only started watching it like 5 weeks ago, but I'm exhausted from Criminal Minds. Oh, although I'm a bit obsessed with JJ, and her name is AJ, so I like that very much. Her real life name is AJ, and I'm like, okay, girl, get it.
Yeah,
I'm right here with you.
I don't think there's any famous Damian characters besides the Omen.
The Omen.
There's like there's a horror trilogy about the son of the devil.
Okay. Is his name Damian?
Called Damian. Yeah, supposedly
That's
the Antichrist.
Cool.
One of the Antichrist's names is Damian.
And congratulations.
Yeah, but Damian comes from Damon, which is Gaelic for demon.
Well, because Daemon.
Yeah.
So I know
Mum always used to joke that she named me after. That was her little joke that she thought was very funny.
My wife and I considered if we had a daughter naming her Lucy, and then everyone would be like, "Oh, Lucy, that's such a nice name," and then having her have to say, "Yeah, it's short for Lucifer." It's Lucy with an I.
Because you guys are such a big fan of the TV show Lucifer, right?
I mean, I've watched the first 2 seasons of that show.
Me too.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like Tom Ellis. He was in a show with Miranda Hart called Miranda, that I really loved back when he was still, poor and working in England.
Right.
I think that's the difference that I'm noticing between our interests is I'm like, and I read a bunch of Agatha Christie, and you're like, and there was an American one, LA Confidential, and I was like, okay. We're like,
oh no, most of my stuff is English. I'm reading Agatha Christie at the moment, like a collection of her short crime stories.
Fantastic. I love this view.
Lucifer was a comic, a Dark Horse comic, so that's why I wanted to watch it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's the TV show's nothing really like the comic at all.
The first couple of seasons were enjoyable. I enjoyed them, but I never came back when he
Yeah,
came
it was a
back,
bit of
so.
fun, but I trailed off with it.
Yeah, that's yeah.
It felt
All
like
right, should we?
perfect TV trash, you know?
Yes, I get that. I'm watching Criminal Minds. I'm up to the 16th season.
Yeah, Lucifer made the Flash and Arrow look like Citizen Kane. But it was still a bit of fun.
All right, should we wrap up
Should
this
we
podcast?
end the podcast? Yeah, probably.
I have
We've only
thoroughly
been going
enjoyed
for
this
an hour and
episode.
15 minutes.
I know that it's been great chatting.
I know,
And to
we
be
barely
fair-
see each other at work anymore.
I know, and the good thing is that the things that we talk about are very spectrumy. So
Yeah, the whole conversation is, I think the way that we frame the podcast from now on is like, step into the mind of two people on the spectrum, and this is what it's like. There's no rhyme or reason. Why are they talking about Lucifer? Who knows? Doesn't
who
matter.
knows? We've touched on wrestling. We've touched on burnout. Like, we've been everywhere, man. Get on board.
Yeah.
You're on the train.
Listen, we will at some point talk about the spectrum, even if it's only for 3 minutes.
But those 3 minutes were vastly educational for others.
Mhm. Yeah. It's
I had to Google the word
infotainment.
dysregulation because I didn't know it. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I knew the word, but I was like, how does this apply to me? So I needed to go and learn about that.
It's a really important word to learn because it and knowing what it means inside out so you can try and explain it to other people. I
Yeah.
always forget it as a word, especially when I'm trying to explain to Cal when I'm in the middle of it. You know, I can't say, like, all the words leave me. I wish I could be like, I'm feeling
Which
really
is
dysregulated
that's a
right
symptom
now.
of dysregulation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
How
it happened
helpful.
before. Her dad was over and he was trying to show me something on his phone. And then the alarm went off in his phone and the dog started barking at the same time. And I had to grab his phone off him and press pause on the video because I couldn't. Yeah.
Hang
Anyway.
on. We're going to really quickly ask, do you still like us? Because my dog is trying to break down my bedroom door.
Okay.
All right. Do you still like us, everybody? That was bad,
thought we were
Damian.
gonna
You're
do it
supposed
together.
to say it with me.
Well, I did because you just started. I didn't know there was no counting. 1, 2, 3. Do you still like us?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Let's just leave it like that.
Oh, no,
right.
no, we're going to do it properly. And we're going to leave this whole bit in.
Okay. Do you still like us?
Yeah, look at that. You know that figured out.
That'll do.
What we need to do is get in the room and record it at the same time and then just play it over.
Yes.
Anyway, this has been a great episode of the Do You Still Like Us podcast. Please come back.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. That's the best way of helping us out. We really appreciate it.
It is. And yes, thank you for listening. We love you all.
Bye.
Okay, bye.